Welcome everyone to our fourth demo day for the Uniswap Hook Incubator. Very excited about what we're going to present today. All the amazing hard work that teams have been working on over the last few months. The agenda for the call will start with congratulating all the alumni for what they've accomplished over the last few months. Devin will speak a little bit about why she's excited about what's happening, what people are building on V4, and some of the bigger announcements in the last couple of months from Uniswap. Then we'll get into explaining what is the Hookathon, what were people working on, sharing the Hook directory where you can see all the amazing projects built by everyone in the cohort. We'll have a few words from our partners who we were very excited to work with, specifically in this call today, Arbitrum and Eigenlayer. We'll get into the presentation. So this will be about, let's say 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll go right into 10 different presentations today, and then we'll reveal the prizes. So without further ado, what is the Uniswap Hook Incubator? This program was built to help drive hook builders on V4. The program is structured like a hackathon, a course, an accelerator. We have a very talented group of people that are here with us today. And we are excited that in this cohort, 146 specifically onboarded, experienced Solidity developers, 71 made it through the whole program and built a unique capstone hook. They combined to build 52, so they're obviously teams building together. And there are going to be $40,000 in prizes awarded today. So very excited about that. So I, again, want to say congratulations to everyone here. I'll let Hardik actually say a couple of things here too as well. But everyone came together and it's been like a thrill working with you all. This is not the end of our journey together, as we'll get into it in a second, but I just want to pause and reflect on what you've done together. So Hardik, if you wanted to say a few things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, thanks for dealing with me the last couple of months. Hopefully you guys learned something. It was a lot of fun, getting to know all of you, and all the workshops, all the officers. I'm gonna miss you guys. But yeah, other than that, it was a really good set of projects we got. Judging was very hard to do. And I had like amazing projects also. Like if you've made it this far, you basically lasted longer than half the people who originally came into the program, right? So even if you don't win a prize today, I think you should give yourself a huge pat on the back for making it this far, for submitting something, and definitely hope to see you guys again in future hookathons and other stuff as well. Congratulations once again, and yeah, thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Hardik.
Hopefully you liked it.
Yes, and you'll hear from Hardik later when we get to the presentations. What's next? Expect on Monday to get an email diving into a bunch of things. We'll have a personalized certificate that we'll be sending, a link to claim your UHI Atrium swag. As you can see, some people repping at conferences. You'll get more information about becoming a Uniswap ambassador. The first cohort of that was announced last month, and almost everyone here went through the Atrium program and as a graduate. So it's a great funnel into that, more opportunity to get involved with Uniswap. We also partner with and support on things like the subsidy fund, which is getting a subsidy for auditing for projects if you continue to plan on building and turning this into a company. And yeah, great to see many other Atrium grads on this list as well. So expect an email Monday with information, context on all of this. But before we get into the hookathon, I want to pause and let Devin talk about, and for context, everyone, Uniswap Foundation gave the grant that led to the incubator being built. So it's been an honor working with Devin and the UF team. So I'd love to have her say a few words as well.
Hi, thank you so much, Bomik. It is a pleasure to be here. These demo days are some of my favorite days of the year, being totally honest. It's just so exciting to see what everyone has worked on and built and ideated over the last few weeks. So again, to echo what folks have already said, I want to shout you all out. You should all be very proud of everything you have learned and done. I know many of you are juggling your jobs and lives and probably other side projects along with this course and this hacker day demo day. So really shout out to you guys. I hope you've had a great time and met some really smart people and learned a lot of new things. Again, to echo Bomik, I really hope you all see this as the beginning of your work and your story in Uniswap and in DeFi. I think like at the foundation and with everything we're thinking about for the future of Uniswap, it is really built around you. Uniswap and Uniswap V4 is really only successful if you are successful. And so we have our audit subsidy fund. We have a subsidy fund to help you all with distribution that will be launching soon. So subsidies to support aggregators, interfaces, fillers to connect directly to hooks and subsidize them routing directly to hooks. And we are actively thinking about new programs and initiatives to support you all, so you can focus on building and we can make everything else easier for you. I also want to shout out the Atrium team. They do an excellent job with this year after year. And again, just really, don't be strangers. We are here to support you and, help make you all successful. So excited to continue to see you all build.
Amazing. Thank you, Devin. So yeah, we're really excited to continue partnering with UF. And as Devin mentioned, we will be closely monitoring teams that continue building on their hook and working with them to turn them into companies and outstanding products in the space. This cohort was really exciting because V4 launched while this cohort was live. I love the memes in the chat, like while we were getting ready for the V4 launch, and excited to see all the initiatives that Foundation launched alongside that launch. Unichain also launched in the last few months, so we're excited to start encouraging projects that get built on that, which is really exciting. But now let's jump into what we're here for. What is the actual hookathon? So over the last 2.5 weeks, developers came together either solo or in teams, and their objective was to ship a custom hook. The previous 6 weeks, Hardik went through many workshops covering all kinds of concepts, dynamic hooks, async swaps, and it was up to the developers to decide what they wanted to build. We were also fortunate to have some sponsors who gave guest workshops and submitted ideas of potential hooks that could be built. And so everyone came together and submitted a hook. 52 projects were shipped on hooks.atrium.academy. That is the URL. It's open to anyone. And I want everyone to spend some time after this demo day to check out all the projects that have been built. We'll filter out the prize winners as well, but it's really important to look through some of the other projects that might have piqued your interest. There are filters for tags and sponsors, so feel free to jump in. But let's jump into the actual partners. Thank you to Eigenlayer, Brevis, Flaunch, and Arbitrum for sponsoring this hackathon, contributing to a huge prize pool and a lot of educational value for the developers involved. I actually wanted to pause for Eigenlayer and Arbitrum specifically to share a little bit about why they were excited to sponsor and get involved, encouraging these kind of projects. So Wes, if you'd like to share a few words.
Yes, thank you. And can you hear me okay? Is the audio coming across all right?
Yep.
Beautiful. No, so for a little bit of background, we really appreciate the opportunity to participate. There is so much affinity for the Uniswap ecosystem. On the Eigenlayer side, we're all Ethereum native folk. And really a lot of what we do from our design perspective, we look at what Uniswap has done as inspiration and guidance, best practices when we're building our own products. So this is all positive, but also, a lot of our folks maybe were very involved in the Uniswap governance foundation in the past, or they built on Uniswap in the past. So there's just a lot of love for Uniswap. To give folks that might be listening that have not worked with Eigenlayer in the past, a little bit of background on what we do. We are a marketplace for shared security. So we're a technology that lets you stake ERC20 assets into our protocol. Those assets then get delegated to a series of operators that run services. And for the purposes of the the hackathon, we had a lot of folks build these services on EigenLayer. And these services can be anything. It can be any kind of off-chain service, but that it's very often secured through the capital that gets staked into the protocol. And so the real powerful thing integrating with Uniswap hooks is that, before hook is before a pool is created, or after all these different times when you can initiate a hook, these are all different points where you can use EigenLayer to invoke off-chain services. We saw folks build some really interesting things. We saw folks build different types of pricing oracles and volatility oracles and meme-related technologies that were super fun, all invoking services that were basically off-chain. So the goal is really to power these Uniswap v4 hooks by using off-chain services to make the hooks more powerful. So we appreciate everybody who took the time to learn about EigenLayer and build these services. We're really appreciative of all the efforts, and thanks for everyone for participating.
Amazing. Thank you, Wes. And thank you for running those workshops too. Very valuable. And next up, we have Arbitrum. Shindra, if you want to say a few words about Arbitrum and Stylus specifically.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. Hey everyone, I'm Srinjoy. I'm a PM at Offchain, based out of Vancouver, Canada. And as Mamik mentioned, I work on a product called Stylus. In a nutshell, Stylus allows you to write smart contracts with languages like Rust that compile to WASM, and you can deploy them to any Arbitrum chain while maintaining full interoperability with the EVM. So this is our second time working with Atrium, and we're always consistently impressed by how much developers accomplish in such a short amount of time. So congrats to everyone who put in all the time and effort to learn and build, especially for those that decided to tackle Stylus. We first of all love reviewing your projects, but also appreciate all the feedback for those who tried and couldn't quite make it. We know it's early days, and we're working very hard to make it more dev friendly as we go. So I'll definitely be reaching out to some of you after to gather some more thoughts and insights. But for those unfamiliar, we'll cover really quickly why Stylus and Uniswap are such a great match. Obviously hooks offer a lot of flexibility, and with it, you can build lots of different things, but specifically for more advanced use cases, like if you're building a dynamic pricing curve or doing some complex rebalancing, these things are going to probably require a lot of heavy on-chain computation that can make gas costs very high. It can be very technically complex to implement. And that's really where Stylus shines, is you can write hooks in Rust. You can leverage all the decades of compiler optimization to produce highly efficient code, runs in our WASM VM. And the end result is you'll get a lot of benefits compared to Solidity. In some benchmarks, we're seeing like 10 to 20x less. And so this really makes what was previously impractical on EVM a lot more feasible today. And lastly, it's not just about writing more efficient code. One of the key advantages of Stylus is the deep integration with Arbitrum itself. So we obviously have one of the most robust and active DeFi ecosystems out there. We're consistently breaking records on Uniswap for trade volume, and we host some of the largest pools by TVL. So with Stylus, you're not just getting that tool set, but you're also getting direct access to that ecosystem. You're able to connect seamlessly with all the Solidity contracts and also use Rust libraries, so you can be building without any compromises. So we're really looking forward to seeing what you guys do with these projects, and I'm definitely happy to connect later if any of you are interested in continuing your journey on Arbitrum. Feel free to connect with me, and I'm happy to point you to some resources and funding we might have available. But for everyone else, go to arbitrum.io and check out Stylus if you have some time. But very excited for all that you guys have accomplished here.
Amazing. Thank you, Shinjoy. That was great, and great workshop. We'll post links of those next week as well. We plan to share threads for each of the sponsors and the projects built on top of them, this cohort. So the moment you've all been waiting for, we are going to start with the presentations. I'll have Hardik kind of MC this part, and he'll transition between each of the teams. As mentioned earlier, it was very hard to pick both the prize winners, but also the small number of teams that can present today. We have Great project from at least each of the sponsors that were phenomenal. We have some grand prize winners. There's a mix of everything, meme coins, MEV, value capture. So we're very excited to have these presentations start, and I'll let Hardik take it away from here.
Perfect. So I believe the first presenter we have is implied volatility targeting AMM. That's a mouthful. But yeah, that is a really cool project, very well implemented. Very well implemented and great integration with Brevis over there. So I'll hand it over to you guys. Yeah, amazing job.
I'll let you share your screen, Luis, and take over.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Hardik. Thanks, everyone. Let me share my screen here. All right. Can you see my presentation here?
Yes.
Sweet. So hi, I'm Luis. I'm a engineer at Panoptic, and for the Uniswap Hook Incubator capstone, I built this implied volatility targeting AMM. The goal here is to help LPs make more money with less effort, incentivize price discovery on chain, and also punish toxic flow. So like Hardik said, this is a bit of a mouthful. So this project is best understood in two separate parts. So the first is a constant volatility AMM. And then the second part is a mechanism to update the target volatility constant of a CVAMM. So what is the motivation behind constant volatility AMM? Well, the key idea here is that you can actually model the payoff of an LP position as an option, selling an option. And if you model LPing in this way, a nice thing that falls out of that is you can actually derive an implied volatility measure strictly from on-chain data. A really good question to ask is like, how valid is all of this, moon math? It sounds kind of sketchy. There's a link in my slides to a Panoptic research article where we do a bunch of statistical tests on this implied volatility series. One of the strongest is that it's co-integrated with Deribit's DVol, this Uniswap IV series. You can see some other statistical tests here, but long story short, this implied volatility metric just from Uniswap data is a really good measure of market-wide implied volatility. The next thing to notice is that LPs put forth a lot of effort to keep this IV constant amongst pools with the same tokens but different fee tiers. You see an example here with Wrap Bitcoin USDT, another one here with Pepe WEEF, and you see this happening all over the place. So what happens if we help LPs and design an AMM that targets IV for them, so they don't have to put forth all this effort to maintain this constant IV for pools with the same tokens? So here's how we can do this. We take our implied volatility function we were just showing, and we do a bit of algebra to rearrange it such that fee tier becomes a function of volatility. And then we're going to go ahead and set this implied volatility target. So this is what the constant volatility AMM is. And here's kind of how it works with some example swaps. So if we set our target volatility at 100%, we imagine there's 315 ETH in tick TVL, and this is like a combination of ETH and DAI in this example, just all converted into ETH. And somebody is swapping 1 ETH, and they're swapping 1 block after the most recent swap. This is what their resulting fee would be. Say they'd be charged 0.612%. So one of the key inputs here is time between swaps, this delta T in seconds. So let's look at what happens if someone had waited 2 blocks since the most recent swap. So they wait 2 block times here, 30 seconds. They don't get charged double the fee. It's like square root of delta T is what they get charged extra. So they get charged a bit more, 0.86%. Now here's where it gets kind of crazy. Let's imagine a whale trade. A whale's coming in selling 1,000 ETH. Their fee ends up being 0.019%. And this kind of works opposite to the way a lot of other dynamic fee hooks work. They get charged a very low fee, but they also incur like price slippage. So they move the price around. Why is this good? Why is this desirable? So one of the benefits here is that it incentivizes price discovery on chain. So large trades like this whale trade, which drive price discovery, get charged a smaller fee. And it also punishes a characteristic of toxic flow, which is small, infrequent trades against deep liquidity. So these get charged actually higher fees. So this is, again, the fee tier function. And then here's a Solidity implementation. And then here I just link the code and some unit tests that walk through the example swaps we just talked through. But there's a problem now. So the constant in constant volatility, AMM, causes an issue because market volatility changes constantly. So one thing we can do about this is take our implied volatility function that comes from on-chain data, sample it every so often, and use the output to set our target volatility. And this is where the name of the project comes from. It's an implied volatility targeting AMM. So how we do this, it's really hard to do this strictly on-chain. So we use, not Brevis, whose tech makes it really easy to grab historical on-chain state, do calculations over it in a ZK circuit, and then provide that verified output to a smart contract. So that's exactly what we do. We request swap logs from now to 24 hours ago. We have this circuit in Go, which takes all of these inputs, the swap logs, as well as some storage slots, and runs the IV calculation, and then outputs that to our contract. And we consume that in our smart contract and use it to update the target volatility. So in summary, the IV targeting AMM helps provide a lot of diversity into the fee space with its unique fee mechanism. It also helps the average LP charge fair fees based on the market's IV, and incentivizes price discovery on-chain rather than on centralized venues, and penalizes small infrequent trades, which are characteristic of toxic flow. So that's it. Thank you. If you want to get in touch with me, who is Lewis on X. And yeah, thanks for your time.
Amazing. I love that. Great presentation, great project, very well done. Thank you so much for this. And yeah, look forward to seeing sort of where you take it from here. Cool. The next project we have coming up, I believe, is Liquidity Oracle. Suryansh and Eric. If you guys could share your screen. And for this project, I think like these guys did a pretty good job of the eigen integration here. I think like they very properly identified like what was feasible on chain versus what should be moved to an ABS. I think really great integration with eigen here. Yeah, let's see your presentation, and congratulations once again.
Yeah, I think is my screen visible right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So hey guys, myself Suryansh, and my cohort project is Liquidity Oracle, and I have Yash with me in my team. So a little bit background about my project. We did like thorough research during the cohort and like while choosing the topic for our capstone project. And like we found that the liquidity in a Uniswap pool is like quite dynamic, and it is constantly evolving with time. So from an LP's POV, you will obviously want to have best data available to optimize your strategies and get the best yields. So our project tries to bridge this gap between the data that we have and the data that is required by these LPs. So I present to you Liquidity Oracle. So basically, this is a hook, Oracle hook, that watches the pool for the events that modify the liquidity in real time, and it tries to derive the measurable insights from these pools using the EigenLayer's AVS infrastructure. So the AVS part comes in computing the Oracle metrics off-chain in a verifiable manner. Talking about these metrics, we did a lot of research into diving into which metrics would be the most useful for our use case, and we settled down to these, like the spread, the market depth, and the liquidity concentration. These tell you about the structure of the liquidity at that snapshot of the pool. So something like how the liquidity spread across the tick set, and how much concentrated it is around the current tick. And then we have metrics like transition and volatility that tell you about the movement of liquidity and its various aspects in the current time window of the snapshots. So like the history is also involved in these calculations. And we did a lot of mathematics, which is a very concrete research that we did to go through all of these mathematics and equations that we could possibly think of. Now, the big question arises, why EigenLayer? How does it suit our use case? I mean, it is pretty obvious. We have three things that EigenLayer provides us the best. First, it provides us with verifiable off-chain computations, which is very crucial for an Oracle. It should be verifiable. It should have that security. Second, it should be very cost effective, because on-chain and doing things like these mathematics equation that I just showed you, doing these things like on-chain, it is very costly. Third, it should be extensible and modular for our Oracle to support a lot of metrics going in the future. Now, my friend Yash will go through the architecture of our project.
Hi everyone, my name is Yash and I'm just going to quickly go through the architecture. So the way it works is when a swapper on LP interacts with the pool, what our Oracle hook does is we monitor their actions every time, and we have a set of very extensive thresholds. And whenever these thresholds are met, we notify the Oracle Service Manager, which then emits an event with all the relevant data. And the AVS operators continuously monitor these events. And based on the data given by these events, they calculate all the statistical computation and get the pool metrics, the relevant pool metrics, and post it on chain to the Oracle Service Manager, which then updates the data in the Oracle hook. So possible applications, what could be the possible applications of this idea? So one of them could be rebalancing of liquidity positions in Uniswap pools. And another one could be a detection of abnormal liquidity behaviors and various type of attacks, such as sandwich attacks. Another could be, let's say, detecting of early liquidations in a lending and borrowing market. So we're just going to quickly show you a simple dashboard that we built, and it's going to be a video presentation. So here is our dashboard, and we have all these metrics that Suryansh talked about. And on the right side, we actually have a simple modify liquidity to play with. This is all. By the way, this is all is running on the local Anvil node. So we do this transaction, and the liquidity metrics are actually evolving in real time. So I'm going to quickly explain you how this is going on. We actually built a custom indexer and a custom simulator for this. So we are indexing all the swap events and the modify liquidity events from Unichain for a Uniswap pool, and we are actually uh, transactioning in sequentially. We are performing all the transactions sequentially. So this is very real time. So that was it for the dashboard. So extensions, what we could have done if we had more time, we could have added a slashing mechanism for the EVS operators. We could have added more pool metrics to give better insights to LPs and risk managers, and a few more mentioned here. So yeah, this was all about our project. We have our Twitter handles mentioned here. If you want to reach out to any of us, you can do that. Yeah, that was it. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much. You caught me off guard with the Eric screen name on Discord, but thank you so much for presenting. Congratulations once again. Next up, we have Detoxer from Yuri. If you want to screen share and get started. I love this project. Yuri, you undersold your Notion description so heavily. As I looked at your project submission initially, and Notion description was like, yeah, I built this thing. It was actually like very well implemented, very good code, and the amount of effort they put into backtesting shows very clearly. So congratulations, and yeah, over to you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
So Detoxer, it's a MEV protection hook suite. Few words about team. I'm doing solo. I'm from Ukraine, based in Kiev. First time I heard about Uniswap hooks in East Kiev hackathon. I had no idea what it is. I tried to implement also a MEV protection hook, but very simple. It tries to block MEV transactions like sandwich transactions. This time I implement more sophisticated version. It's not try to block sandwich transactions on MEV activity. It just try to redistribute fees in more fair way. All of the hook decision here is a dynamic fee hooks. So it's increase fee for MEV activity behavior like attackers, and decrease fee for honest users and victims. It's completely on-chain approach without any async swaps, off-chain data relation, etc. And it also general usage, fully composable, and it doesn't require any custom UA or custom hook data, etc. For version 1, it's very simple, just based on transaction and block data. So Actually, it's not just one hook. It's like 4 hooks for now, very simple one, but each one target one particular pattern in math activity. So each one tries to identify this pattern and increase or decrease a fee. First strategy or technique actually is initial price range. It analyzes the movement of the price, and the better price you have like worse, like a higher fee, the worse better fee. So attackers will always have higher fee, and victims, which always have a worse price, will have a lower fee. Another technique is priority fee level. The higher is priority fee, the higher is the LP fee. Usually MEV increase priority fee in order to be on top of the block or execute in a proper order. Also, both direction swap hook identify the both direction swap, usually like front run and back run in a sandwich transaction, and increase fee for back running transaction. And the last one is the fourth technique is block position. The higher you in the block, the higher is the fee. Usually math bots put their transaction on the top of the block. And the 5 approach is like combine it all together. The main idea that you cannot beat or be 100% in any of this technique that you identify a mem activity, because they can hide their activity, mimic to regular users, etc. But when you combine all together, you will even better redistribute this fee. So few like interesting points about this hook. In general, this is dynamic fee hook. Fee is extracted in before swap, but one of the hook use donate to redistribute fees after swap. It's like interesting approach for one of the hook. Another 2 use transient storage for multi-hop swaps, context data storage, and also pre-swap pricing in before swap and extracting it after swap. The approach was tested on a lot of data. So this is a data-driven approach, completely reconstructed pool from Uniswap v3 from the initial state and applying all of the swap historically the same way as it was in a real pool on v3, also with the same priority, gas, etc., from Infura. Sorry. So it was a LAI USDT pool. About 20 transactions from Jared, from Subway, and other math bots was identified there. And I compared my 4 strategies against vanilla pool when you have no hook. Usually you have, like in this pool particular, you have 1% fee for any transaction. And we can see that we can compare each strategy. The main idea was to not decrease or increase general fee level, which LP can earn on providing liquidity. So as you can see, in total, each of the hook still has 1% fee, but attackers always have like higher fee, victim always have like lower fee, and regular user which not participate in sandwich activity, neither as an attacker or victim, they have slower, lower fee, which will attract more users to these pools and provide like interact more with such pools, and LP will be happy as well. So yeah, main challenges. Actually, main challenges here is that math bots usually learn your code, your techniques, and can split transactions, use different addresses for front run and back run, use another way of bribing, not through the priority fee, but just using direct transaction of ETH, etc., etc. So main challenges is to adapt and improve this protection and add some features on top. And I have a lot of like ideas how to improve my hooks in the future. First of all, it adds new techniques. During this hackathon, I identify like new ways how these guys make money, and even like front and background liquidity modification, etc. So the first of all, I would like to add new techniques on top of these four. Another one is to integrate with some math API to enrich data for backtesting, and also with off-chain and other sponsors. Unfortunately, I had no time this time to integrate with them, but for future, absolutely with pleasure. And yeah, backtesting, everything is based on backtesting. I did a lot of backtesting with the Graph project, and I want to improve it to educate my project and found the better way how to set up fee levels, etc. So try to test my solution against different kind of pools with low or high liquidity, fee level, volume, some stable coin concentrated pools, etc. Yeah, and also optimization as well. Actually, that's it. Thank you.
Amazing. Amazing, dude. Love the project, love the presentation. Oh, you're so humble about this. This was so much work. Huge congratulations once again. I've seen the amount of effort you put into this. Love that. Cool. Okay, but moving on. Next up, we have Weth from Socks and Flops. Honestly, I don't have much to say about this project. I think this was such an ingenious idea in terms of like implementation was very good. The idea was so ingenious in terms of like how do we get LPs some more yield without doing like lending protocol stuff necessarily. I think this is the first time I've seen something like this, but really great implementation, really good project. Over to you. And yeah, congratulations
Awesome.
once again.
Thank you so much for that intro, Hardik. To everybody, I'm Socks and Flops from the Buttonwood team, and this is WETH++, or as I like to say, WETH just a little bit better. So right now, pretty much over $1 billion of ETH is currently sitting inside of Uniswap LP positions, UniV2, UniV3, and it's not really doing anything. So if they were just to stake the bottom 20% of that, they could easily generate over $10 million in yield annually. And that's money left on the table the LPs really need to combat toxic order flow, MEV, and permanent loss, you name it. So WETH++ is a yield-bearing version of WETH. It's designed to work natively inside of UniV4 and hold a mix of 50-50 WETH and stETH. To traders, it's supposed to behave just like WETH or stETH. They don't even know about it, but to LPs, it earns like Lido. So inside of it, it's really just a system of 3 hooks: a raw hook, an earn hook, and a pull hook. The raw hook lets you swap WETH 1-to-1, the earn hook lets you swap stETH 1-to-1, and the pull hook lets you replace any WETH pool with WETH++, while being designed to trade exactly the same. The magic is that WETH++ never leaves the pool manager, so traders never see it. It can't be unwrapped, and the yield stays inside, only to be removed when the LPs claim it. And the really easy, cool thing about it is that to keep the balance healthy, it targets a ratio of 50-50. So we have built-in keepers and switches, but even without all of those, the raw and earn hooks just act like sluice gates. So you can always move back to the target ratio just with natural order trading. If there's too much stETH, you just disable the stETH inflows. And then you can just enable stETH outflows, or even just take advantage of natural, trade routing going through the conversion pools. So under the hood, WETH++ uses, 6909 LP tokens, and the entire system is built to be governance extensible. This lets LPs earn passive yield without changing any of their behavior. It's native to UniV4, and it generalizes to any ERC20. So we can even do USDC++ or Uni++. WETH++ is literally just the beginning. So as I keep building, the plan is to extend this to USDC++, or as I like to say, more bang for your buck. Aggregate multiple yield strategies, launch some governance tokens, and even vote on where the yield can go. We can even do some clever things like skim a portion of the earnings to fund the development and the keepers. So Through all of this, I learned liquidity moves really cleverly in UniV4, how the pool manager works, and hooks can be super powerful when you design them responsibly. I also learned how to build yield tracking mechanisms that are accurate, gas efficient, and fair for the LPs. So WETH++ is designed to scale. It can pull yield from staking. We can even integrate lending protocols like Aave or restaking with EigenLayer and just have the protocol secure itself. It's compatible with aggregators, routers, swappers. It's pretty much already built to plug into Uniswap without disrupting anything. And one last thing was I decided what more clever things can I do with this yield? And I built an integration into Flaunch. So instead of just reserving all the yield to LPs, it redirects it to a treasury action that once they approve it, it'll essentially send all that yield to buy back the Flaunch token on the open market. So now you build real buy pressure instead of just inflationary rewards. And this means that LPs are generating demand for the governance tokens that you're using to incentivize them. It's like a self-reinforcing flywheel, perpetual motion and whatnot. So, this is a quick, 30-second walkthrough of the app. There's 3 pages: pools, tokens, positions. You can swap WETH, STETH, USDC, everything. And you can also provide liquidity. And when you provide liquidity, you only provide raw WETH or STETH. It does all the conversions for you, so you don't even see WETH++. When you're done, you can look at your position, see the breakdown, and you can even see what extra yield you've accrued from the staking rewards. When you close it, the LPs can claim the rewards knowing that it's been reserved exclusively for them. No one else has access to that. Finally, there's a tokens page where you can view all the ++ tokens in the ecosystem and what rewards have been earned. And that's pretty much it. WETH++, it's a small change to Uniswap that unlocks massive yield opportunities for LPs, for protocols, and whatever comes next. Lastly, I'd like to acknowledge the people that helped make this happen. Thank you to Thomas and the Flaunch team, the Atrium lecturers, the organizers, especially Hardik and all of his lessons, and the Uniswap Foundation for the grant, and for Sauce for dedicating all of his time in the office hours. Thank you.
That's all good, bro, but it's WETH. It's not WETH. Yeah, don't call it WETH. I was cringing every time you said WETH and STETH. Oh my God, STETH is crazy. But okay, whatever.
Tomato,
Next
tomato.
up, no, not tomato. It's WETH. Okay, next up we have Dex Profit Wars. I don't really know how to pronounce this screen name, so whoever it is, but Dex Profit Wars, really nice project. Love to see more sort of social dynamic stuff going on through hooks and nice competition vibes here. Fun little gamified hook. Congratulations once again, and let's go for it.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Muz Del Burgo, and I'm excited to introduce Dex Profit Wars, which is a competitive trading hook that transforms decentralized swap into a real-time leaderboard game. So a bit about me, I'm a solo builder on this project. I'm a Solidity engineer, 3 years in Web3, and I previously helped ship an NFT lending protocol that handled over 280 million in volume. What is the big picture with this hook? The hook rewards profit-savvy traders, and by doing so, it boosts liquidity, drives engagement, and opens new monetization streams like potential for copy trading and sponsor incentives. Obviously, I'll go through that in a couple of slides, but to start, how did this idea come about? So I saw an opportunity in that DEX trading is mostly routine and mechanical, but what if we made it social, competitive, and profitable to watch? So I'm inspired by the energy of meme coin launches and airdrop farming frenzies, and I wanted to channel that same engagement into something protocol native on Uniswap. So what does this, how does this hook solve any problem? So hooks at the moment may be an underutilized primitive in Uniswap v4, but they let us build very powerful tools, which in this case is game-like incentivization natively at the AMM layer. So the rewards that this hook provides is based on net profits after gas and not just trading volume. And thus it turns just passive volume into active engagement. So let's do some visioning together. Like imagine a meme coin launch with this hook. Traders now race to the top of the leaderboard, causing liquidity spikes, swap increases, and compounding attention. So what does this open the doors for? Monetization opportunities, like copy trading for a fee. Users pay to replicate top trader swaps. Sponsored rewards, where token teams fund pool prizes for leaderboard winners. And social analytics by compounding attention via profiles for high profit traders. So the key features of the hook, the key features of the hook is real-time profit tracking, gas fee calculations, USD conversions of trades by pulling token prices and gas prices from Chainlink, and then leaderboard rankings. So how does it work? In the before swap callback, the hook takes a snapshot of the user's gas. And then after the swap occurs, the after swap callback returns the delta via balance delta and fetches token prices from Chainlink. So then the hook computes the net profit or loss in basis points after accounting for gas costs. And then the qualifying swaps are presented on the leaderboard for rankings. So the architecture is done in a very gas efficient way and is totally composable, and the only oracles used or external contracts are the calls to Chainlink. So in terms of future vision, what I'm planning to continue building next is on-chain rewards distribution to the top traders, where token teams fund prize pools for leaderboard winners, live copy trading. While it's common in TradFi, we've barely scratched the surface in crypto. So this DEX Profit Wars hook brings copy trading to Uniswap natively. And so users can subscribe to top performing traders, to top performers, paying a fee for every mirrored swap. And then I would like to, another thing I would like to do is diversify the reward bracket. So instead of having just one bracket for the top percentile winners, I would like to have tiered reward brackets to encourage activity across small, medium, as well as large trades. So in closing, to wrap up, DEX Profit Wars is the hook that brings a new monetization and engagement layer to Uniswap. It turns traders into competitors, their swaps into stories, and off-the-charts liquidity into spectacle. Yeah, so let's make DeFi, sticky again. And please get in touch. I would love to talk more. Thank you.
Amazing, love that. You should probably rename the project to Can You Beat Nancy Pelosi? But I love the project, great presentation. I think this will be very fun, and I can't wait to see the copy trading thing. I discussed it like I think a day before submission, but yeah, I think amazing work, great vision ahead, and hopefully I'll see this in a future hookathon again with the stuff you mentioned.
Definitely, for
cool.
sure.
Perfect. Cool. Next up, we have priority is all you need plus Hook Ninja. I don't know how to pronounce these screen names, sorry. So I'll hand it over to you guys. But great implementation of the paper. Priority is all you need. If you haven't read it, go check it out. Really nice paper. Good implementation of that paper, and big bonus cookies for Hook Ninja and surrounding stuff that you built. Over to you guys. Congratulations once again.
Thanks. Hi everyone. Thanks for being here. And yeah, we're happy to present you, Simon and I, the little project we've been working on over the last few weeks for the Uniswap Hook Incubator Cohort 4. So yeah, let's go. So agenda, we will go through the problem we are solving, how our hook works, how it compares to existing solutions, little demo, and then we will open to something a bit on the side, which is like hook discovery challenges with two little projects, the first one being Hook Ninja and the second one, what we call V4 Engine. So yeah, let's go. So the problem we're solving is like something that we've seen already today. It's the concept of how to redistribute MEV. So the idea came when looking at this nice podcast and also reading this nice article. So yeah, how to redistribute the MEV to LPs and to the protocol. So in its core, the hook is very, very simple. So it's a before swap function, which is trying to detect transaction with a high priority fee. And if it's above a certain threshold, then we assume that there might be value in this transaction. And in that case, the fees will go higher. So usually a normal user will not like mess up with priority fee, and it should be mainly bots. So that's the idea behind. There are like different solutions working around this. So there is Arrakis Finance, the Angstrom from Sorella Labs, and also we saw other projects around this today. So it's a big topic, and Hook allows developers to build stuff to try to capture that value. So for the demo, well, it's just tests mainly. So yeah, you can check the repo, it's online, but we have we just created two tests with the high and low priority fee, and we can see that the fees were updated. It's obviously very low level stuff, so like it's hard to show, but yeah, you can check the repo. And something that we discovered along the way is the whole challenges around how can we discover hooks. So maybe in a not so far future, people will be like this, trying to find the right pool for this swap, because as of like Uniswap v4, for a given token pair, there is not a finite set of pools. It's infinite. So depending on the hook, depending on the fees, like it's really infinite. So finding the right pool might be hard. Also, it might spread liquidity a little. So we were like thinking about, hey, how can we just build something around that? So people could find the right hook, be it LPs or solvers or like backend systems that are like trying to route a swap through a bunch of pools. So in that thing, we created two things. So one thing is a little website called Hook Ninja. So it's open source. You can go online. If you deployed Hook, you can just go and send a PR and just explain that's what it does. This is the deployment address. And the idea is that people can find information about the hook. Would be nice. And that could go for users, LPs, but also people building backend systems. It can be useful for if your hook has a specific payload in the hook, because otherwise how can people know about it? So yeah, just check it, hook.ninja, send a PR, that would be super cool. And the second project is the V4 engine. So it's a little indexer that goes through all the pools that have been deployed on any chain, listening to events and building a database where we can then query and expose via an API to whoever needs it. We want to connect it with also Uniswap X. We want to play with also simulation and try to really bring some light to this whole pool of pools, let's say. So yeah, let's go quickly. So right now I can show you it will be on Unichain. So the CSV file is empty. I will just run the indexer with a block where people started to create a pool. So now we'll just start to fetch things. And yeah, so this is something, now it's fetching the pools. And then we have this little database that we can expose to via an API. And the second thing we started working on is the V4, like the filler. So it's something connected to Uniswap X. And the idea is to kind of react to those things and try to use those more fancy pools with the fancy hooks. So in the future, we'd like to add the tracking for the liquidity and maybe hopefully provide an API for builders and front-end solvers, whoever, let's see, to get really, really nice data around pools. So that's it. Thanks for listening. A special thanks to Alex, with whom we started brainstorming the project at the beginning of the hackathon, and also to Hardik for the time during the lessons, and yeah, everyone involved. So thanks, and Mike is back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Great presentation, great tools. Love what you built. I'm sure Hook Ninja will be used a lot. We'll probably refer to it in future cohorts as well. So I love that, you went that extra step and did that. And not only did you build it, you actually like went all the way open sourced it and, are making it easy for other people to use as well. So huge bonus points for that. Cool.
Thanks.
Next up, we have Advanced Liquidity Manager Hook by Coxie. And yeah, if you can share your screen and go from there. Perfect. Actually, okay. Yeah.
Can you
Hold
see
on.
my screen?
No, I cannot. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I can.
Okay.
Was this project renamed?
No.
Is this Uniroid? No. Okay. I am missing my comments for this for some reason. I am so sorry. Hold on. Well, okay. Just start. I'll find where the hell my comment. I think I had a misnomer somewhere. Just start.
Okay.
We'll get back to this. Sorry about this. Congratulations once again.
Okay. So my hook is called Advanced Liquidity Manager hook. And like I said, my name is Coxie. Brief description of my hook is that Advanced Liquidity Manager hook is a Uniswap version 4 hook that combines dynamic fee management with automated token launching capabilities using Fludge. It optimizes liquidity pools, particularly those containing ETH, by adjusting fees based on the market conditions and automatically creating and managing new tokens. So the team and the background. So this is going to be built by me. I'm sole operator of this. And my background is my name is Coxie. I'm a full stack blockchain engineer. I'm a DevRel with experience in Solidity, Rust, and also experience with EVM and non-EVM chains as well. So what exactly does this solve? Okay, it has 3 different problems. The first problem is that static fee structure. Traditional DEX actually do use fixed features that don't adapt based on market conditions. And also it solves the token launch inefficiency. Many token launches lack built-in liquidity mechanisms and automated management system. And also solves the limited analytic and price discovery. So DEX often lack real-time tracking of volatility and price history, and also volume analytics. So, okay, how exactly does this hook solve this problem? So, sorry for this, just leave it distracting. Okay, so it solves this by the dynamic fee adjustment. So fee adjusts in real time based on market volatility, like I said, gas price and pool type. It also solves this by automated token launches via Fludge. So when it is part of a new liquidity pair, Fludge automatically creates a new token and set a treasury for it, and then manage initial parameters like a token supply and fee allocation. It also solves real-time analytics, which is it provides live tracking of market conditions, also price trends and volume analytics, like I said before. So moving forward, what makes this hook unique? It has the intelligent fee management, like I said, adaptive fee based on market condition, and it has automated token launch, which is by Fludge, which means that the Fludge automatically creates and manages token pairs. It has a sustainable renewal model, which is automatically redistribute trading fees to liquidity providers and creating a fairer and more rewarding system. So the feature extension of my hook feature plans I have for it, that I plan on making this cross-chain functionality to expand to multiple chains and cross-chain fees, making it more cross-chain, because right now Flutch is actually being deployed on Base chain. So I would love to make it way more cross-chain to other chains like Solana and even to Stellar blockchain as well. So also I would love to integrate with different oracles as well to get enhanced price feed and improve analytics and support more dynamic fee models. I would also love to advance my liquidity features by implementing auto-compounding rewards and risk adjustment features. So that's what it's all about. So thank you so much for your time.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I'd misplaced my notes earlier. I found them. I got confused with two similar named projects, but congratulations once again. This is a great project. I think like Flaunch particularly was very, very impressed with the work done over here. Great addition on top of what Flaunch does and sort of being able to manage their liquidity better. So great project. Thank you so much once again. And who do we have next up? Okay, next up we have Bond Marketplace AMM, Arnold and James. If you could share your screen.
Oh, coming online, James should share.
Yep.
Yep. I think these guys did a pretty good use case for custom curves over here. Very interesting idea. There's maybe a couple of concerns we still have to see how this would go production ready, but generally I think very, very neatly, very interesting idea, very neatly implemented hook. Yeah, over to you guys.
And we are well aware of the
Shortcomings.
concerns. So.
Yeah. All right, thank you for that note. All right, hi everyone, we're Lighthouse Labs. My name's Arnold and I'll be presenting today with my co-founder James.
Hello.
For our capstone, we wanted to explore how a bond marketplace could function using V4 hooks. Our idea for a bond marketplace was born out of research, exploring how to improve coordination in decentralized environments. So let's dive in. So bonds come with prior assumptions attached. So to clarify, for the remainder of this presentation, we're going to be defining a bond as an ERC-721 token that is redeemable for some amount of ERC-20 tokens at a future date. So similar to modern Uniswap LP positions, our bonds are represented as non-fungible tokens, and we encode common properties such as the principal, potential yield, and other perks, so that downstream, the underlying attributes can be easily inspected.
All right, so now that we know what these bonds are that we're talking about, what is the problem? Well, we wanted to set out to make an AMM to enable automated buying and selling of these bonds. In order to do that, we need liquidity to power our AMM. And we really thought it was important to avoid making LPs split liquidity between us and Uniswap, because obviously in that matchup, Uniswap would win. They've got the better reputation. So what is the best solution for that? Why not let them do both? So we decided to design a hook contract that lets LPs deposit their liquidity on Uniswap while also powering our bond AMM. So in terms of how it works, LPs come and deposit their liquidity into our smart contract. That liquidity is then deployed onto various Uniswap pools connected to us through a hook. On the front end, normal users can come by and swap at those pools just like normal, have no idea what's going on in the back end, and fees are already being generated for our LPs. Once our contract has liquidity, we can then use that liquidity to power our bond AMM. We determine the buy and sell price of bonds that we can offer using an external customizable pricing algorithm. And anytime a bond is bought and then sold, we end up with some extra profit that also goes to our LPs. The last piece of the puzzle is that once our LPs are actually earning more than they would otherwise, we can use our Uniswap V4 hooks to dynamically reduce the fees of the Uniswap pools that we're attached to, and lower fees attracts more swappers, more trading activity, more liquidity, and the cycle continues. So some interesting features. We wanted to design our marketplace specifically to be an open system that others could build on top of. So we started by introducing a bond issuer interface, which allows any type of bond to be designed so it can expose the on-chain data that we would need for it to be bought and sold through our contract. We also thought it was important to open up the way in which the price of bonds could be determined. So we decided to design this external pricing algorithm system. So anybody could create their own pricing algorithm and attach it to a hook. This also has the side effect of enabling market forces to find the best solution for pricing bonds through that open competition. And these two features together create a really powerful system for inventing new types of composable bonds that could be designed to solve all sorts of novel problems. So let's go back to Arnold to see what we shipped.
Cool. So over the program, we were building, it's right from the start. And it was pretty intense. And for some reason, we thought playing Crypto the game midway through was going to be a relaxing activity. But we learned our lesson there. Shout out to the Green Team Cabal. Eventually,
and orange, the orange
Sure.
chaos. Yep.
Right. Eventually, we were able to deliver a custom interface for adding liquidity to our hook, selling bonds into our hook, buying bonds from our hook. We also created a custom pricing strategy that was deployed on Arbitrum Stylus, which was actually really cool. So that proved the use case for composability between Stylus and Arbitrum, and also being able to sort of confirm that we could deploy a custom pricing strategy that has compute-heavy use cases. We also deployed a custom ponder indexer, which is also available in our GitHub, and all our code is end-to-end tested with Foundry. It also covers some of the more nuanced aspects of our code, which covers LP profit and loss, and also being able to set dynamic fees based on the hook's profit position. So this transaction over here, which was, I think, maybe a week before we finally submitted, represented an important milestone for our project. We'd been sort of ideating on this for quite some time, and from our initial napkin designs to having our bond hook actually accept and give us money for that, that was a nice little milestone. So yeah, the bond marketplace, it was actually inspired out of necessity by a protocol that we've been designing. It's called Signals. And we believe that having a bond marketplace or a healthy secondary market for these types of options or securities, whatever you want to call it, let's not call it a security. We think that it opens up a really healthy design space for more interesting DAO tooling and operational tools. So yeah, as a small and mighty team, yeah, we're looking for partners to sort of, help scale our efforts and our vision. Thank you so much for Hardik and SourcePoint for their mentorship throughout the program, and yeah, Ethereum themselves for an excellent and well-run program. Please feel free to reach out to us and yeah, question us on our ideas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You both got great voices, by the way. A lot of comments in chat about that. But okay. Moving on to the last presentation of the day, we have Pump Up with Captain Levi. If you could share your screen. And this is a really good project in terms of the Eigen and the Arbitrum integration here, the work done on the ABS side and the Stylus, the effort that went into the Stylus contract for this, very commendable. I'd love to see it. I'll hand it over to you. Take it from here. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Adi. Thank you. Yeah. So hi, everyone. It's really great to be part of this cohort and present you Pump Up. Pump Up is a meme coin marketplace that transforms how meme coins are created, traded, and valued in the DeFi ecosystem. So this platform mainly connects three stakeholders: makers, curators, and the traders. Makers are mainly those who create a meme coin and provide the initial liquidity. And curators are those who deploy these custom bonding curves on the top of which a price of a meme coin can be determined. And traders mainly trade these coins. So before moving further to the project, I would like to talk about myself. So I'm Saurabh. I'm a blockchain engineer and researcher. I've been in this space for the last 2 years. I've started my journey with the summer of Bitcoin and later moved to the EVM ecosystem, and I've built lending protocols, marketplaces, and wallets. So yeah. So moving on to our problem statement. So the current meme coin landscape faces critical issues like creator lacks flexibility in how their token can trade. They're being forced to follow a one-size-fits liquidity model that don't match with their token characteristics. Also, like the trading mechanisms are rigidly poor capital efficiency models, and there is a minimal transparency and the complexity around the tokens and the curve parameters. It makes hard for traders to make informed decisions. So here comes the yeah, sorry. So here comes the pump up marketplace where makers can create these custom where makers can create these meme coins that can trade on these custom mathematical formulas that has been built by curators, and curators can build this mathematical formula. Also, like they can earn fees on a particular transaction that follow their curve logic. Also, for traders can benefit efficient swapping mechanism with or pole execution type included, exact input and output for buying and selling, and they can also add and remove liquidity from the curve. So some of the innovations that I've did in this project is our pool can transition into a standard V4 pool. So during the initialization of the pool, we take transition info from the user, and after those conditions are met, we generally we migrate the liquidity from the custom curve to the V4 pool manager. Also, I've integrated the eigenlayer AVS for making a risk scoring system for all these tokens, so all these meme coins, strategies, and the transitioning of the pool. So it gives a better transparency and better insights about the protocol and the coins and the strategies for traders, for buyers and sellers to make informed decisions. And for the custom bonding curves, like currently the protocol support two bonding curves, solidity. One is exponential, which is written in solidity. Another one is the sigmoid curve, which is written in stylus. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to talk about smart contract architecture for a bit. So here you can see that there is a pool state manager. It just stores the state of all the token pairs that has been created. It also have a logic for initially providing initial liquidity to the pool and creating a meme coin. Then there is a strategy manager. So curators can register their strategies in this strategy manager. So here you can see that all the custom curves need to follow a I strategy. That is a common interface for registering to strategy manager. And then there comes a pump up hook contract, where traders can add and remove liquidity and perform the swap logic. Also, there is an AVS which constantly monitor the tokens and the custom bonding curve performance and maintain a state on the meme guard service manager contract. So before any swap, the pump up hook contract calls this AVS to read this risk profile, and if the risk profile is below the critical level, the transaction will revert. Yeah. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I believe that is all the presentations for today. Bhaumik, I'll hand it over to you from here.
Yes, great job on the presentations, everyone. That was awesome. Can't wait to watch the recording afterwards too. We will upload this on YouTube, but I am gonna jump in. Give me a sec. Okay, so before we get in, yeah, Arnold and James referenced Crypto the Game, so I did have a screenshot from that of how serious things got. This is me posting our like a screenshot from our internal chat. But as you can see, Arnold, we were talking about posting and building a hook, and we were both pressuring him to work on Crypto the Game. Or I was saying work on the capstone, and Brian was saying no, work on Crypto the Game. So we were having a debate on what was more important. But I did make sure you guys shipped, otherwise I would not be doing my job with Atrium. So yeah, it was really fun working on this, and there are actually a lot of CTG players, which is fun. Before we go into the prizes, which is right now, I again want to emphasize all the incredible projects built by this cohort. Please check out the hooks directory, hooks.atrium.academy. Very cool projects that are worth sharing outside of the incredible prize winners that I'm about to show next. Okay, so prize time, what's going to happen is I'm going to go through the sponsor prizes first. There's overlap between, multiple prizes if you integrated multiple things. And instead of just revealing the prize, what I'm actually going to do this time is we're going to just live announce it on social. So it's the same image, but can you guys see my screen? It's the Brevis Prize.
Yep.
Great. Okay, so first of all, congratulations to the Brevis team, the teams that built on Brevis, Luis, who you guys saw present earlier, and Water Reptile for winning the Brevis Prize. I'm gonna go ahead and publish and announce that right now. Congratulations to these three teams for winning the Flaunch Prize. Coxie, loved your presentation. Socks, you're also here. And then FlexiBid. These three teams, Flaunch was really excited about their hooks. Please check them all out on the hooks directory. There are links to them, and we'll tweet out more descriptions about all these projects as well. But congratulations to these three teams for winning the Flaunch Prize. Tweeting that right now. The next one is Arbitrum. So congratulations, James and Arnold, who presented today, as well as Pump Up for winning the Arbitrum Prize. Chuck didn't present, but the team was very impressed by them as well. And for everyone involved, we will be connecting you as the teams have asked Arbitrum, et cetera, to meet them. They're very impressed by your work and would love to connect directly. So expect that next week, along with info on the actual price dispersal. And then Eigenlayer, congratulations again to Pump Up, Liquidity Oracle, and Adaptive Swap for winning the Eigenlayer prize. Very exciting. And then we also have additional prizes from Uniswap Foundation and Atrium Academy. There's actually two buckets of this. So congratulations to these teams for winning the Atrium Uniswap Foundation prize. The first team wasn't able to present today. He is working on research that he's coordinating with Paradigm on publishing. We expect him to probably present in a future hookathon, but very excited about this project. And then we also have these teams. So congratulations on everyone who've won a prize today, and as well as those who've won multiple prizes. We are announcing this right now. Both of this is live. And then one more tweet thing, and then I'll go back to the deck. We are also sharing links to everyone who presented today. There's a thread going out that has all the links to all the projects, so please check it out, review on your own. This is going live right now, and then next week's we'll publish a recording of this talk, as well as more descriptions on all the presentations. So very excited to announce these winners. And let me go back to my last few points. I hope the chat is posting a lot of congrats emojis. Again, just going through these images. Yeah, so congratulations again to all the grads. We'll reach out next week with more information about the things I mentioned, certificates, how to think about funding, audit subsidy funds, how to think about grant funding, venture funding. A lot of conversations are going to be happening starting next week. But I do have to end with the final plug. If you know someone who should build a hook, let them know about our deadline is next week for the next cohort. But yeah, everyone who is in this room that's an alumni, the journey does not end. We are very excited to continue collaborating, and I'll let Hardik also share any other words you wanted to send to.
Absolutely. I think mostly the same things as earlier, but generally overall, congratulations to everyone once again, all the people who did present, those who weren't able to present today for different reasons. But congratulations once again. If you got this far, you're at the curve, and we hope that we see a lot of you coming back for future hookathons as well. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing. And you'll be invited to an alumni Telegram group as well next week, so stay tuned for that. And thank you everyone who joined. This was awesome. We do these every 3 months, so stay tuned for the next demo day happening in 3 months from now. Thank you everyone again, and it will see you online.
Cheers, guys. Have a great rest.